And good morning. Yes, there's been a bit of a gap. Yes, there's been a motivation failure. And yes, life kind of got in the way. So it's the 26th of December, rapidly coming into the new year and the new decade. Yeah, first day of Kwanzaa too. But we'll be talking about that in another video that will be going up today and will be the basis of you'll get to see it if you're on this channel, and all of the Kwanzaa celebrations, because the new channel doesn't launch until the 1st of January. So Kwanzaa runs for 7 days, but that's a separate video. So I'm out in the woods. It's been raining quite heavily. It has not been lovely weather, but I'm out in full uniform. I've got my webbing belt, my boonie hat. I'm wearing black thermal underwear, long johns and a t-shirt, and I've got my ever faithful Snugpak softy jacket, which is reversible, but I'm all in black. My boots are polished, my bed is made. So yes, and you're going to see the other support thing. I've got to sort something out about that. Yes, so here we are in the normal place. It's December, we're properly in winter now. We're probably with the days starting to get longer and warmer, ideally, but although there'll probably be a temperature drop in February, because that's what February does. So yes, let's have a look. I haven't got my bad hat on. So my whole outfit today is an evolution from the Sean Kennedy era. Your ever faithful boonie hat, except I picked one with pop studs on each side, so it doesn't get in my way because I'm going to be in the woods. Yeah, new haircut, new tattoo, new watch, new outfit for filming in. It's the uniform of the culture. So this is my culture first contact uniform. It's insanely practical. It's very cheap. We're in cheap combat boots, cheap thermal underwear. You can get a set of that from almost any sort of hardware store. A pair of long johns and a thermal t-shirt. That will keep you lovely and warm, and it's enough to cover you up if you've got to do a runner. So yes, also doubles as pajamas. How insanely practical is that? And the hat was a struggle for me because right now I don't possess the means of production to make one. So I decided to just get a cheap one. This was £3. The belt was about £3, and there is a forage cap coming, which might be a bit more acceptable and have a better placement for cap badging. But also there's a little sort of band around the top that you could probably attach a GoPro to for head cam shots, or you could probably make a little pouch or hold a lightweight survival kit there and a first aid kit on the other side. So your hat really could be a form of storage for small stuff. And I'm wearing it military style. They all come with a neck strap. Oh, hold on. So yeah, there were people. I do not include people unless they absolutely want to be in. And I'm starting to regret polishing my boots, but this is why you polish boots. I need a little bit of a touch up, but you've got to look after your boots. As Sean Kennedy says, look after your boots and your boots will look after you. So yeah, unfortunately I can't find a source of vegan boots that I have any faith in. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing. If you know of any vegan boots that will absolutely hold together and make them worth the £100 that they normally cost, then yeah. But yeah, you want to be buying for tomorrow. That's a Chipko saying. buy for tomorrow. You know, really think about whether you need something. Really think about whether, you know, that's a thing that it's worth expending your hard-earned money on. And ideally something that doesn't destroy the environment or contribute to things being bad. Yes. Ooh, so the river is kind of muddy. That means it's been raining. Let's have a look. So yeah, I had a super slothful day yesterday, in which I did like nothing. I was like this river. I took a day off, you know, and with all days off you should always decide real early that it's a day off, because I was going to do a whole bunch of stuff. So I kind of put stuff off for tomorrow, yesterday, and today I want to do stuff. So yes, so if you see this video and you want the release of the Kwanzaa celebration videos or the Kwanzaa acknowledgement, I don't intend to be celebrating all that much, because it's more of an introspective thing. Each day has a theme, each day has a thing to think about. And whilst there is such a thing as a Kwanzaa gift, Kwanzaa gifts are meant to be uplifting and educational, so they generally take the form of books. But given that we may be in the last big hurrah of global capitalism, well, you know, you might as well order something off eBay if it's the way you can afford it, or Amazon if it's the way you can afford it and it's the way you can help someone. You know, that person being helped that you're buying a gift for, you know, that could be very important to them. You know, a lot of people I know who are smart get a bit depressed around this time of year, because it means another year's passed and they don't feel they've achieved anything. Let's wait for the joggers to go safely past. Everybody seems to be out. But there again, it is 1 o'clock. So, and I needed a shower and a shave, and to generally warm up my brain. So, probably a late night tonight doing stuff, and hopefully you'll get this video. So yeah. So there's a new YouTube channel coming, as I keep going on about, and there is some hope. I found out yesterday, which is, you know, a good sign, that there is an organisation in the UK that may well be doing useful stuff, where you can see the results of what they do, where you can subscribe and help out, even if it's only financially. And it's called the Acorn Union. Now, what it is, it started off as a tenancy union for private tenants, you know, for people that didn't have much in the way of recourse against bad landlords and bad landlording practices. Let's lift that up. So yeah, and they've got a branch in Manchester, so that's interesting. And they fight against, you know, the war on poverty, because there are a lot of people living in poverty in America, and, you know, in Australia, in the UK, in Europe, you know, and certainly in the rest of Africa. Now, it's not the global level of poverty where people are going to necessarily starve to death, but it is that point at which you can prevent homelessness. You know, in a now stupidly rich world, homelessness is not a good thing. Homelessness should be preventable, at least in the Western world. It shouldn't exist. You know, if you've got a welfare system, those are the very people you're trying to catch. You know, people are wealth. You know, those experiences, the understanding, a different perspective on life, those are all valuable things, let alone all the things that person may have figured out in their life. And I guess it's you know, doing something like this is the reason that I don't feel that my life is being wasted, because there are a few people out there learning to do stuff. So yeah. So I don't know how long I've been filming for. Let's have a look. About 10 minutes. So yeah. And I don't know about you, but I want to be significantly more effective this year. So that's why I signed up. And their idea is that, you know, if you give an hour's pay a month towards that, they can do useful stuff. But I want to go along there and maybe open up the discussion for a fundraising blitz where we literally sponsor the purchase of a home, as in the same way as other non-profits can do, and sink some money into buying a couple of houses and then renting them to DSS tenants. And I'll put that by them, you know, see if we can. We need to do that thing where we start the mega corporation. You know, the tree that we will never sit under. You know, that phrase from those vegan guys. You know, and it's not just Paul's phrase. It's a thing, you know, that resonates deep within people. We don't do that anymore. We don't try. And because we don't try and we don't respect the concept of doing something from which you will never benefit, we've had it drummed out of us. We need to go back to it. We need to do something for the people that come after us. You know, if we build a multi-million-dollar corporation that benefits humankind as well as we can understand it, or just, you know, you build one that benefits and relieves the suffering of the people in your own country. We need to circumvent our expectation that governments will in any way help us, because governments are now in the pockets of giant corporations, and we're never going to get anything back from asking nicely. We have tried, you know, even the suffragettes realise that asking nicely doesn't get you anything. So yes, and we can't do it by force of arms, because generally speaking, the people that will be, you know, rolled out against us are working class people just like us. Now, if there was a mega corporation that could lean on and purchase politicians in the way that the evil mega corporations do, then we might be able to do something about ending war. Because money is all those politicians respect now. At this point, they're only really interested in money. There are a few good people in politics, but there are an awful lot more of them that are bought and paid for around the world. And, you know, everybody keeps saying, you know, the top 1% own half of the wealth in the entire world. Well, that means the bottom 99% own the other half. And the way we keep that is by funding our own corporation or religion. It's quite simple. So we need to work on that. And this Acorn Union looks like they've got a good pattern. I'll put the link down below. It will be at the bottom of this video, and it will be at the bottom of all subsequent videos, you know, just like Extinction Rebellion is. So yeah, here's me in my silly hat, in my silly uniform. You know, interestingly, Iron Angel pointed out, early in my independent media career of the last at least 11 years, we were very interested in what Scientology was up to. You know, we were extremely interested in what they were into. And it turns out that the black boiler suit was punishment clothes for people that had upset the Church of Scientology from within the Church of Scientology. So, you know, I'm all right with that. That's another good reason. We also got the whole thing with the boiler suit being, they're called boiler suits because they're worn by boiler room attendants to stop smuts, because everybody would wear shirt and tie to work. And people that worked in dirty environments tended to wear like an overall. That's, you know, the clue is in the name. It goes over all. That's it goes over all. All of your things it goes over. So yeah. So you've got that. You've got, it is the definition of working class wear. And I wanted, you know, I like the idea of a uniform. A working class uniform that everybody can get to, that is worn in every country in the world. Everywhere wears overalls. There's no cultural thing about it. But also, you're kind of invisible. You wear overalls, you're invisible. So, yeah, so I'm going to make this a longer video, and I've got stuff to film while I'm here. But yeah. I want, you know, I want to build or help to reinforce an organisation that's going to do good stuff. That would be enough. And they're hiring the Acorn Union. I don't know whether, you know, what if it's a minimum wage job? But there again, it's a minimum wage job that, you know, would kind of do the thing. So yeah, what do you think, people? Should I apply? I've got until the 10th of January to get my application in. Who knows? I mean, obviously, I'd hope that they get someone more qualified, but you just need someone that wants to make it happen. That's the question you've got to ask yourself. Is it better to have anybody in that sort of position, you know, that cares and is angry and can do stuff, or, you know, do you leave it unfilled? So yeah, it looks kind of like minimum wage. It looks like it's 40 hours a week, helping out, answering phones, and it's in Manchester. So yeah. And what have I got to lose, really, I suppose? Yeah, I'd probably get an offer to come back and resume my duties at TGI Fridays if I wanted to, which is where I work, in my chainsaw restaurant. It's a good job, I like it. You know, mostly good people. Well, they're all good people, you know. So yeah. So, answers in a comment, please. So yeah, I think we're up to a good thing. Be nice if, yeah, they can make Kwanzaa slightly more popular. I think it's a more valuable holiday than Christmas. And everybody smiled and said, yes, we are totally unsurprised that you're celebrating Kwanzaa. And I believe in personal human empowerment. And that's what the culture is going to be all about. You know, how do we empower people to make changes? You know, be the change, be the activist. You know, I want to see more activists generally. Oh, this is going to be a bag of no fun going up here. Yep, it is. Seriously muddy. And we haven't had Zach fall over in the woods because of the mud for a while. But yeah, remember, and I haven't often been in this part of the woods for a while. And it's a hassle to get to unless you are prepared to work with nature rather than against it. Because the river reshaped itself and kind of built me a causeway just because I left it to do it. I'm sure there's a lesson there. You know, all the people that successfully live in the wilder environments and live more in harmony with nature because they have to, because they don't have the industrial might to change. Whoa! Didn't fall over yet. Yeah, they're quite happy to wait for nature to rebuild something so that it's useful and work around it. So yeah. I'm sort of pushing myself with the exercise thing. And again, I'm looking at the new year and the new decade as a chance to do more. And I believe there are plenty of people that liked rant media that maybe we can bring into the culture. And you know, my outfit is a nod. And overalls are great if you're going to go out into the woods. And I fell over, obviously. Just as I was talking about the fact that it's probably, you know, it's easy to clean. So yeah. Stop looking at me now. Because part of the problem, part of the reason I fell over, was I was trying to keep the shot framed. And it would be nice if there were more. I'd definitely like to hear from people of colour regarding the Kwanzaa thing. I don't want to step on any toes. I did try emailing the NAACP, but they didn't respond, and that was about 4 months ago. Squirrel. I need some water. Let's go and look at the waterfall in a sec. So this is a long, if you've had a Christmas full of people, it's a long wander along the lines of, you know, sorry I haven't been on all week. But last week I worked 52, 53 hours at work, plus the usual hour to get in and hour to get out. So, you know, if you add in all the sleep, there really hasn't been a lot of a wait time. I've had about enough time to feed myself and slob out and relax after work, and that's about it. That was a lot of hours. A lot of days. So on Tuesday I finished an 11-day run of work without a day off. And you do need, you know, days off without work just to recharge and run the batteries up again. Wow. You just need it. It's very muddy out here. So yeah, there's the waterfall. It's messing heavily with the sound. Yeah, got our longer, I've got my longer walk out. That's a good thing. So yeah, I'd very much like to hear what sort of, not New Year's resolutions, that's stupid, but New Year's ideas. So I'm going to try and start running in the new year, but it does massively depend on what sort of days I'm working. It looks like I'll be working very heavily next week as well. So when I go back to work on Friday, or tomorrow, I'll be doing 7 days straight, and my next day will be off, will be Friday next week. But I am going to plan even if I'm working crazy hours, I want to plan to do more stuff with my day, because I've let things slide, and that's no bad thing. I guess I feel more motivated to fix those things that I've let slide in the last couple of months. Since September I kind of got knocked down, you know, kind of got, you know, kind of drug out, hung up, knocked down, hung down and brung down, and they inspected and injected and infected every single part of me, when they left no part untouched. So I kind of got beaten down a little bit by life. Yeah, and it's we're coming to the point where look at this, proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. See, now I've got no gimbal, the gimbal's faded on me. Fortunately the voice recorder's still working and the camera's still got power, but yeah, it was a case of go out now or stay home all day, and I wanted you guys to have some stuff. So yeah, so what thoughts, what ideas do you have for the new year? I think you know, laying the foundations for a mega corporation that is in the interests of people would be a good thing. You know, start off with something that's very visible and profit inducing, like housing, and use that profit to buy more housing, and then just become the best landlord in existence, you know, with on-call people. And insured tradespeople making repairs, and volunteers to come in before anybody takes possession of said property, that come in and clean and decorate and say, right, what we do is we paint everything white, you know, and make sure there's no damp, that everything's safe, that the tenants are safe. Yeah. It's one of the things on the Black Panthers list, isn't it? Decent housing. And when you become a mega corporation, you can be a decent employer as the mega corporation, and you can show that treating people decently is profitable. And then you can show your ideas. You have the power to lean on governments and change laws. And that's where we're going to get it, I think. Not from protests, although protests are good. But I think Extinction Rebellion have proved a few fallacies, that people do not care if you know, because you're making them late and you're conflicting with their, you know, their short-sightedness, which they have to have. And like I was talking about a few weeks ago, you know, people feel the need to put their compassion in a box, and their understanding, they deliberately limit their own understanding, because the world is a confusing and upsetting place. And isn't it interesting how all the people that do take a look at all the broken things, they have, you know, paying attention is almost a mental illness, you know. It's not something that people are raised to do, and when you do notice and you do pay attention, it's very stressful. So yeah, apologies for the last couple of weeks, but you know, my countrymen just elected a fascist dictator who is already cutting, even before Christmas, the week before Christmas, they started cutting benefits for the disabled. Nice, huh? Wasn't very popularised, was it? Was it at all? BBC didn't cover it. The Guardian covered it. So that may be the next thing that I set up money for, you know, and I would urge you to do so. But largely, you know, if you want, I think instead of a portfolio of investment, we should have a portfolio of investment in the future. How's that? So I'd like to give some money to The Guardian, and I'd like to give some money to archive.org and Wikipedia and the EFF. So would you be, I don't know, I'd like some ideas on that too. We're a community. So yeah, so this is where I'm going to end it. So we've got to do this. So, because I couldn't get my act together enough to charge the gimbal. So thank you for watching. Do take care. And remember, where am I going? Who's coming with me? And I might have to all edit this together. So yeah, joy.